Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast. I'm your host, Frank Fiume, here live at the IFA2024 National Convention, and looking forward to interviewing some folks at this year's event. I've got John Dell from Hangry Joe's, Nashville. Hot chicken.
What we like to say is Hangry Joe's. Yeah, we're based out of Northern Virginia. We've got 62 locations open now and 150 more under contract with lease being built.
You coming to Tampa?
Actually, we got a location in Zephyr Hills.
Nice.
That we opened about 3.5 months ago. And we've got 4 more coming to the Tampa Bay area. And we also have 5 coming into the Miami market, probably with our first entree into food trucks as a way of promoting the brand and getting the market seated.
John, it's fantastic. So how long have you been in franchising?
My time in franchising depends where you want to go. At one point, I worked for Coca-Cola, and I sold to franchisors, and then I became a franchisee with Subway, and it was an area developer for Nashville, Knoxville, and Tampa, and now I still own 150 Subways with a partner.
Wow.
So we're part of the startup and getting this concept going.
Well, you got quite the track record. What are you hoping to get out of this year's IFA? I mean, you're a veteran of franchising.
It is, but this is the first time I've been on the franchisor side. Mm-hmm. And Subway was such a developed brand that you really don't have to go out and start kicking rocks over to learn how to do it. But now we're starting out from ground zero. We were 12 locations a year ago. We've got a lot of infrastructure to build, systems, standards, but we've got some really great franchisees and area representatives that are going to make that happen.
Well, I think you're the perfect person to ask this question. I interview a lot of founders that are starting out, and people that are trying to franchise their concept.
Right.
So if I was starting out and I wanted to franchise my concept, what would be maybe one piece of advice that you'd give me?
Build your concept for the future, not for what it starts out to be. If you want to have 50 locations, then start building for it. Even if you only have 2 or 3 or 4, you have to have the infrastructure to support your franchisees, area representatives that are out there helping to grow the brand. So if anything, overstaff, but build an infrastructure that can position you to grow. It's like retail. You staff for what you expect to get. If you understaff, you're not going to get a lot of sales. If you're overstaffed, better service, faster throughput, better quality. You build for the future.
John, that's great advice. Thanks so much for being on.
Pleasure. Enjoy it. Thanks very much.
Thank you for tuning into the Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast. For additional insights, guest applications, and to stay connected, visit us at efbpodcast.com. The Emerging Franchise Brands Podcast is for entertainment purposes only, and the views expressed do not necessarily represent those of Emerging Franchise Brands, its host Frank Fiume, or Emerging Franchise Group, LLC. Any discussed franchise or investment opportunity requires thorough investigation, obtaining proper disclosure documents, and expert consultation before making any investment decisions. The podcast and its host do not offer professional advice or endorsements, and they hold no responsibility for actions, representations, accuracy, or consequential damages related to the podcast content.